Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Malik and you're watching me on my YouTube channel. In today's video, we will discuss a next assignment that is related to chapter 2, that is ML1 Katherine's coffee shop. So first of all, we will open instruction file. The name of today's assignment is XP22 Excel chapter 2 ML1 Katherine's coffee shop's weekly payroll. Okay. Here is project description. We will just increase its size also, so it must be visible, and change its color. So we will solve this assignment step by step. You may follow me and you will get 100% marks. But before going to solve this assignment step by step, let me move toward whole assignment. How many points we have in today assignment? Okay. So in today assignment we have just 10 questions in today assignment. Okay, so let me start today assignment step by step. So here is project description. You have been hired as a new manager of Katherine's coffee shop. As a part of your responsibilities, you will be calculating a weekly payroll. Okay, so the previous manager developed a partial worksheet, but you will enter formulas to calculate the regular pay, overtime pay, gross pay, taxable pay, withholding tax, FICA, and net pay. Okay, so in addition, you want to include total pay columns, calculate the some basic statistic, and create an employee lookup section. As you construct formulas, make sure you use absolute, relative, and mixed cell reference correctly in formulas. Okay, so all these are just simply project description. Okay, we have to read project description so we can get idea what we have in today assignment and how we have to solve that one. Now we are moving to a graded part. So steps to performs instructions. Start Excel, then download and open the file name, this one that we have already downloaded from just like Pearson. Then grader has automatically added our last name in the beginning of the file name. So we have to open the file name first. So question number 1 is done. That is not graded one, but really important that we have to solve that one. Okay, after solving question number 1, and now we are moving toward question number 2. Use if function to calculate the regular pay, overtime pay in column E and F. Based on a regular pay 40 hours work week, be sure use appreciate, absolute, or mix cell references. Okay, then pay time, pay overtime only for overtime hour. Okay, so note employee receive 1.5 their or wage for overtime or work. Calculate the gross pay G5 based on their regular and overtime pay. Okay, so after calculating we will get a regular pay $440 and overtime pay 82.50. So let me start this question step by step. Okay, let me move toward Excel sheet here. Equal if formula. Okay, now we have to this one, our work is less than or equal to or regular basic hour work, this one. If this condition is true, then we have to return B24. Okay, So we will paste if, okay, if d5 is less than or equal to b24, then d5 this one, okay, then b24, then we have to multiply by this hourly wage. Okay, simply press enter and we will get answer. Now you may compare this answer with this one, so it's the same according to suggestion. Now we have to find overtime pay, which is that is in column F here. Okay, so for that we have to use formula. What formula we have to use? Well, let me make that formula. So after reading instruction, we will use this formula. Okay, in this formula, if d5 mean this one is greater than b24 mean 40 hours, this one. Okay, if this condition is true, then d5 minus d5 mean this one minus b24 mean this 40. Okay, and multiply c5 by b25 because b25 is overtime p. Okay, then simply press enter and we will get answer. Now you may compare this answer with this answer, so it's exactly same. Okay, so first e column value also we have calculated, then column f value also calculated. Now we have to calculate gross pay g5 based on regular and overtime. Okay, so here we use equal, then this one plus this one and press enter. So in question number one, there are three formulas we have used. First for regular pay, this one. Then we use overtime pay formula, this one. And in last part, we have to find gross pay, mean regular pay plus overtime pay. Okay. So now we have to drag this one to there, fill without formatting. And then this one. And then we have to drag this one. Okay, so question number 2 is done and we have got 20 marks from there. 20 question number 2 is quite big one. Okay, in question number 2 there are three parts. First we have to find our regular pay, then we have to find overtime pay, and in last part we have to find gross pay in cell G5. So we have done and we got the result. So question number 2 is done. Now we are moving toward question number 3. Create formula and cell each 5 to calculate a taxable P. Here is H5 and we have to find taxable P. That multiply the number of dependents by deduction per dependent, then subtract that from gross P. Okay, so with two dependents, taxable pay is this one. Okay, so now we have to calculate taxable pay, multiply number of dependent equal multiply number of dependent by deduction per dependent by deduction per dependent, this one. Okay, first we have to this one multiply by deduction per dependent. We have to make that absolute. Okay, then subtract that from gross pay. Now we have to find and we have to subtract their answer from gross pay. So where is gross pay? This one is gross pay minus. Okay, now simply press enter and we get the result. Now you may compare this result by this result, so the same. So we have earned 10 marks from there. So in question number 3 we have to create a formula in cell each 5 to calculate a taxable pay. For taxable pay we have to multiply a number of dependents by the deduction per dependent. Okay, first we have to multiply number of dependent by deduction per dependent and we have to make absolute deduction per dependent. Okay, then after getting the result, then we have to subtract that result from the gross pay. Okay, so they told us clearly that we will get answer 422.50, and we have got that one. Okay, now we have to fill that one here, this one. Okay, so question number 3 is done, and we have earned 10 marks from there. So in question number 1 we have earned 20 marks, in question number 2 we have earned 10 marks. Now moving toward question number 4, insert insert VLOOKUP function in cell I5. We have to move toward I5, and there we use a VLOOKUP. Okay, then identify to calculate federal withholding tax. Okay, now we have to find their federal withholding tax. So with a taxable P 422.50, separate tax this one, and with a holding tax this one. Okay, so the VLOOKUP function return applicable tax rate, which must be then multiplied by tax rate. Okay, okay, so we use a VLOOKUP function there, then H5, then there is table rate that we will use is this one. Okay, okay, now we have to make that absolute, then we have to use a second column because we have to use tax rate. So that is in second column, we have to use second column, then we have to multiply by this taxable rate. Okay, that's why we have to multiply by h5, and we get the result. Okay, so question number 4 is done, and we have earned 20 marks from there. So in question number 4, we have to insert VLOOKUP function in cell I5 to identify and calculate federal withholding tax. With a taxable pay 422.50, Spencer tax rate is 25%, withholding tax rate is 105.63. The VLOOKUP function return applicable tax rate, which you must then multiply by taxable rate. So after reading instruction, we just create this formula, and this formula is just working, and we get this answer. Okay, so question number 4 is done. Now we are moving toward question number 5. Calculate FICA in cell G5 based on gross pay and FICA rate, and calculate net pay in K5. Then copy all formulas down to their respective columns. Be sure to preserve existing formatting in document. Okay, based on hourly sponsor work, he paid 39.97 to FICA, and a weekly net pay this one. Okay, so we have to use all these formula, these information, and we have to calculate FICA in cell J5, and we will earn 5 marks from there. So you may see we have just 10 questions in graded part, and out of 10 we have solved first 5 questions, mean half of assignment is done from my side in today video. Remember that in today video we have discussed XD Excel chapter 2 ML1 Katherine's coffee shop weekly payroll. In short, we just discuss project description. After discussing description, then we move toward graded part, and we have solved question number 1. Then we move toward question number 2, where we have to solve 3 part in question number 2. In first part we have to find a regular pay, in next part we have to find overtime pay in column F, and then in last part we have to find gross pay. We have find the all the values, and we have just verify answer also. Okay, after solving question number 2, then we move toward question number 3, where we have to create a formula in cell H5 to calculate taxable pay. Okay, what is our taxable pay? That is multiply the number of dependent by deduction per dependent. Then subtract that from gross pay. With 2 dependents, sponsored taxable rate is this one. We have again verified that one. After solving question number 3, then we move toward question number 4, where we have to insert VLOOKUP function in cell I5 to identify and calculate federal withholding tax with a taxable pay of 422.50. Spencer tax rate is 25%, withholding tax rate is 105.63. The VLOOKUP function return applicable tax rate which you must then multiply by taxable pay. So after solving question number 4, we have earned 4 marks from there. Then in question number 5, we have to calculate FICA in cell J5. So we have just discussed question number 5 and we will earn 5 marks from there. So almost half of assignment is done from my side in today's video. But if you need complete solution for this file, for that you have to contact me on my given WhatsApp number, email ID, Instagram ID. All links are available on video description as well as there in bottom of this video. You may see here is my WhatsApp number and here is my email ID. You may contact me. I'm available. I will solve and you will get 100% marks in next 30 minutes. Remember that file will be ready in next 30 minutes. Price will be reasonable and result will be 100%. You may also contact me for full course deal. Our deal will be reasonable in price and your marks will be 100%. Remember that I am also expert of other courses, just like if you need help regarding mathematics assignments, stats, English writing, English literature writing, accounting, C++, Java, Linux, textbook project, quizzes, midterm exam, final exam. So whatever you need to help regarding your academic, you may simply contact me. I am available. I will solve and you will get 100% marks in next 30 minutes. Price will be reasonable. File will be ready in next 30 minutes and result will be 100%. So in today's video we have discussed XP22 Excel Chapter 2 ML1 Katherine's Coffee Shop weekly payroll. We have discussed almost 50% assignment in today's video. We will meet soon with our next assignment. So for that you have to subscribe my channel so you can get every latest video from my side. Take care, bye bye, best of luck for your future. Meet soon with our next assignment.